Here are 5 films to check out after watching Richard Linklater's new movie on Netflix, Nouvelle Vague. It is about the iconic filmmaker Jean-Luc Godard and his involvement in the French New Wave. Specifically, it covers the making of his debut feature, Breathless. This is not only a staple of French cinema, but a major pivot point for the entire medium. Through its use of non traditional technique, like shooting on location versus on a set and avoiding sync sound, Breathless would inspire countless filmmakers to pick up a camera and pursue their dreams rather than wait for permission from a studio or some other known entity. And while you should definitely check it out alongside Nouvelle Vague, here are 5 more films that pair perfectly with Linklater's homage to the independent spirit Godard brought to movie making. Let's start with Jean-Pierre Melville's Bob le Flambeur. Melville is actually featured pretty prominently in Nouvelle Vague as somewhat of a father figure to Godard and the entire French New Wave movement, and even plays a small role in the making of Breathless. But perhaps his greatest contribution to this moment in cinematic history was his own crime thriller Bob le Flambeur, as its use of handheld cameras would inspire a new technical freedom in filmmaking. Another figurehead featured in Nouvelle Vague is the Italian filmmaker Roberto Rossellini, who helped shape the post war cinematic movement of neo-realism, one of the best examples of which being his film Europe 51. Starring Ingrid Bergman as a saint like figure determined to do good despite the awful circumstances that surround her, the structure owes more to existentialism than traditional narrative design and helped influence Godard's own interests in experimentation. Speaking of experimentation, our next film comes from one of the forefathers of the avant garde movement, Jean Cocteau. Like Rossellini and Melville, Cocteau was a key influence on the French New Wave, with his fantastical interpretation of the Greek myth of Orpheus serving as a touchpoint for the creative freedoms sought by this young group of new filmmakers. One such filmmaker, as well as contributor to the film magazine Cahiers du Cinéma, Claude Chabrol is credited with kicking off the French New Wave in 1958 with his mournful drama Le Beau Serge. It follows a sick man who returns home only to find himself distanced from the provincial life he grew up around. Chabrol also helped write the original treatment for Breathless and served as a technical advisor on the production. Alongside Godard, the other well-known auteur of the French New Wave was François Truffaut. As seen in Nouvelle Vague, it was his film, The 400 Blows, that pushed Godard to set out on his own filmmaking journey. This is a seminal piece of cinema, but to pair with Nouvelle Vague, I think you're better off going with one of Truffaut's later works, Day for Night. It is a fantastic behind-the-scenes look at finding the art in the artifice that is perfectly echoed by Linklater's most recent work. Hit those comments to share what you think of these pairings, and let me know if there are any that I missed.